If trying has always felt like a weight, and the more you push, the harder life seems to push back. If you've drained yourself chasing love, success, or meaning only to feel more empty than before. If people call you lazy, but deep down you're just tired from struggling in a world that never felt right. If you feel out of place in a world that's always rushing, working, and chasing goals, while some part of you just wants to exist quietly, that doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It means your soul remembers that peace doesn't come from control, that living in tune with yourself is stronger than forcing things, that the way forward appears when you stop trying so hard. You're not falling behind. You're starting to trust something most people spend their whole lives fighting. A truth that says you get free when you stop chasing and start allowing. How do we get what we truly want? From a young age, most of us are told that success needs hard work, strict routines, and endless effort. But hidden in old books, protected by spiritual paths, and backed by modern psychology, there's a strange truth few people are ready to accept. The more you try, the more you push away what you want. This is called the paradox of effort. Understanding it is the first step in learning the backward law. To understand it better, let's look at what happens when someone wants something very badly. Whether it's love, money, health, or spiritual growth, strong wanting creates a powerful emotional charge. That charge often comes with worry, fear of failing, restlessness, and mental stress. When the mind locks on to one goal, it can cause what we call performance anxiety. Instead of helping you do better, this anxiety clouds your thinking, tightens your muscles, makes your breathing shallow, and blocks your natural instincts. By trying too hard to win, you end up making it harder to succeed. The British thinker Alan Watts, who helped bring Zen Buddhism to the West, explained this very clearly. He said that when people chase happiness, they end up unhappy because chasing shows they don't have it. In the same way, if someone tries too hard to relax, they get even more tense. You can't force a calm state, it has to come by itself. Watts believed that real success doesn't come from pushing, but from letting things happen naturally. This idea isn't just a theory, it's part of many deep spiritual teachings. In old Buddhist texts, especially those shared in quiet monasteries in Ladakh and Tibet, monks were told that trying too hard to reach enlightenment can actually stop it from happening. One hidden teaching says, "The mind that searches is the mind that cannot see. The eyes that close are the ones that understand." This old truth shows us that awakening, like other deep goals, comes when we stop trying and stay fully present. The effort to reach it creates the feeling that it's far away. In reality, there's nowhere to reach. Everything you need is already here. Modern psychology has uncovered a similar idea through the concept of cognitive dissonance. When a person strongly desires something, but also fears they won't get it, their mind becomes caught in a stressful contradiction. This inner conflict uses up a lot of mental energy, leading to burnout, procrastination, self-sabotage, and sometimes even a complete loss of motivation. Someone trapped in this mental tug-of-war often feels as if they're cursed, wondering why their hard work seems to lead to the opposite of what they want. What they often don't realize is that the curse is created by them. It's the act of holding on too tightly that causes the very thing they want to slip away. From a spiritual point of view, there's a deeper reason behind this, tied to the law of energy resistance. This law says that what you resist will continue to exist. When your soul sends out feelings of desperation, clinging, or fear, the universe reflects that energy back to you. So the more you hold on with thoughts like, "I must have this or I'll suffer," the more the universe mirrors back that suffering. It's not a punishment, it's a form of resonance. Energy attracts energy that matches it. You're not being denied because you're unworthy. You're being denied because your energy is signaling a lack. And the universe, following ancient laws, will return to you exactly what you're broadcasting. Even more ancient teachings from the Essenes, mystics who lived during the time of Christ, offer a deeper view. They taught that when desire is fueled by personal will, it becomes a burning fire that clouds the soul's clarity. But when desire is tempered with trust and patience, it turns into a magnetic pull, a sign naturally attracting what you seek. One of their ancient texts says, "He who drinks from the cup of striving shall thirst forever." He who waits upon the waters of life shall find his thirst quenched before he asks. So, the more we explore psychology, philosophy, and spirituality, the more we realize a timeless truth. Too much effort and attachment create obstacles, not blessings. The great masters didn't achieve their success by strangling life with ambition. They flowed with existence, moving with ease, patience, and inner peace. In our fast-paced modern world, this wisdom is needed now more than ever. Society praises hustle culture, endless working, pushing, and forcing, without understanding that real success and true fulfillment come from the art of effortless alignment, not constant striving. The person who knows when to act and when to let go is like an archer who releases their arrow without strain, letting it fly straight and true. The first key to the backward law is a simple yet powerful truth. The less you cling, the more you receive. The less you force, the more things flow. The less you try, the more you achieve. Woe, or wui, is often translated as non-action or effortless action, the idea of achieving a lot by doing less. It might seem strange to a modern mind that's been taught success requires non-stop effort. But the masters of Taoism understood that real power doesn't come from force, it comes from harmony. Wui doesn't mean doing nothing, it means acting with ease, without unnecessary strain, and without clinging. It's a state where the mind is clear, the heart is open, and actions flow naturally, like a bird flying or a tree growing. In this state, there's no separation between the one doing and the action itself. The action takes place through you, not by you. Ancient Taoist masters often explain this idea using the example of water. Water is soft and flexible, yet it can overcome the toughest obstacles. It doesn't fight the flow of life. It adapts, moves, and over time, shapes mountains. Its power doesn't come from force, but from its ability to bend and wait with patience. An ancient text found in the caves of Mon says, "The wise man moves with the current, not against it. His strength lies in his ability to yield. His success comes from his humility." This principle is not just a nice metaphor. There's a scientific concept in modern times that supports it. Neuroscience has discovered what's known as the flow state, a mental state where someone becomes completely absorbed in what they're doing, with focused energy, full involvement, and deep enjoyment. When in flow, the brain releases a mix of chemicals like dopamine, norepinephrine, and endorphins, which boost creativity, problem-solving, and physical performance. Many athletes, artists, writers, and inventors have shared that their best work came not from trying harder, but from being in the zone, when things felt almost effortless. Flow cannot be forced. It happens naturally when certain conditions align, like having a clear goal, immediate feedback, and a balance between skill and challenge. In these moments, the ego fades, the inner critic disappears, and actions unfold on their own. This scientific finding matches what Taoist thinkers understood thousands of years ago. Effortless action is the key to true success. As the Tao Te Ching says, "When nothing is done, nothing is left undone." This mysterious line means that when you stop fighting against life and learn to trust its natural flow, the right actions will come to you, and the outcomes will surprise you with their ease. Thus, the second important key to mastering the backward law becomes clear. By acting without forcing, you align with the flow of life. You achieve more by doing less. You go farther by staying still. You win by surrendering. But why is it that the things we want most seem to slip away from us? Why does a strong desire for peace bring anxiety, a deep longing for love bring loneliness, and a constant chase for success lead to failure? The answer lies in a little-known but powerful concept called the law of reversed effort. First introduced by the French psychologist Émile Coué and later expanded by thinkers like Aldous Huxley, this law states that the harder you try to do something, the less likely you are to succeed, especially when emotions are involved. Psychologically, humans have both a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. The conscious mind works through willpower, intention, and effort, saying, "I'll make this happen." But the subconscious mind, which controls most of our behaviors, emotions, and bodily functions, doesn't respond well to force. Instead, the subconscious mind responds to images, beliefs, and emotions. When someone tries to force their conscious will against deep-seated doubts, fears, or resistance in the subconscious, an inner conflict is created. The more the conscious mind says, I must relax, the more the subconscious hears, I am not relaxed, and reacts to that thought. As a result, the very effort to relax causes more tension. Trying to fall asleep only leads to wakefulness. Telling yourself to be confident brings out insecurity. The subconscious interprets the effort as proof that the desired state is missing, and so it reinforces that feeling of lack. Rumi wisely said, "Try not to resist the changes that come your way. Instead, let life live through you." This law of reversed effort shows why many spiritual practices focus on letting go rather than holding on, surrendering instead of conquering, and being instead of doing. When you stop demanding from life, you create space for it to offer you what you need. The moment you loosen your grip, you let the flow of life guide you to places you couldn't have imagined. This brings us to the third important key of the backward law. By releasing desperate desire, you remove inner resistance. When you stop fighting, you make room for fulfillment to naturally appear. By ceasing to struggle, you tap into your greatest power. At the core of the world's most profound mystical teachings is the concept of surrender. Surrender is not weakness, but the highest form of wisdom. True surrender is when the individual soul merges with the universal intelligence that governs all things. The force that spins the planets, grows forests, and makes hearts beat effortlessly. Without connection to this intelligence, life feels like a constant struggle. But by surrendering and letting go of control, you align yourself with the deeper flow of life. Life becomes a harmonious symphony, and we are both the instrument and the music. This truth is highlighted in the Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna teaches Arjuna not to renounce action, but attachment to outcomes. Performing your duty with calmness is the essence of yoga. In the Himalayan monasteries, the masters taught Ishvara Pranidhana, surrender to the divine. Here, the practitioner lets go of fear, desire, and ambition, becoming a vessel for grace, free from the need to control life. Modern psychology mirrors this ancient wisdom with the concept of radical acceptance. Healing doesn't come from resisting what is, but from accepting it with compassion. Resistance binds us, while acceptance sets us free. On a deeper level, surrender opens the door to miracles, unexpected blessings that are far beyond what willpower alone can force. In mystical Christianity, surrender to divine will is seen as the path to grace, a power that heals and transforms beyond reason. As Meister Eckhart said, the soul must surrender itself entirely to God, and then it becomes God. Surrender is not just a poetic idea, it's a fundamental law of existence. It takes you from the limitations of ego to the vastness of infinite consciousness, from fear to inspiration, from struggle to renewal. True power isn't found in control, which is always an illusion, but in unity with the source. When you fully surrender, life starts to cooperate with you. Opportunities arise, supporters appear, intuitive guidance sparks, and even major obstacles dissolve in perfect timing. This isn't childish fantasy. It's the natural flow of life moving through an open soul. This brings us to the fourth key of the backward law. By surrendering your limited will to the greater will, you tap into a vast field of intelligence, love, and power that far exceeds anything your mind could have conceived. When you let go of the illusion of control, you free yourself to live with grace, ease, and true fulfillment. Beyond the stages of striving and surrender, the final step on the spiritual journey is the art of non-resistance. This is not a technique, but a state of being. When you master it, struggle fades, and life becomes your ally. Resistance is the inner no to what is. It creates tension, judgment, and fear, all stemming from the ego's false belief that life should conform to its desires. Resistance strengthens suffering. It's like being trapped in a Chinese finger puzzle. The harder you resist, the more stuck you become. Non-resistance isn't weakness, it's powerful acceptance. It's facing each moment without clinging or pushing it away. It's a kind of alert surrender, an inner yes, trusting that every experience is part of a greater unseen plan. Zen masters describe this as mushin, the mind free from conflict. The awakened individual embraces both joy and sorrow, seeing them as expressions of the eternal. Similarly, Julian of Norwich looked past the pain and saw the deeper harmony beneath it all. All shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. Non-resistance doesn't mean inaction. It means acting from clarity, not compulsion. When the mind is still, Right action flows naturally, like the reflection in still water, not reactive, but authentic. In ancient Egypt and within Hermetic traditions, initiates trained to maintain inner balance, knowing that only a soul free from resistance could channel higher powers. Even quantum physics suggests that the observer shapes reality. Resistance creates chaos, acceptance brings coherence. The mystics were right. Your inner state shapes the world around you. Through non-resistance, you stop fighting life and become a co-creator with it. Life flows not because it's changed, but because you have. The final key to the backward law is now clear. By ceasing to resist life, you allow it to bless you. By embracing each moment with an open heart, you transform every challenge into an opportunity for growth, every sorrow into a gateway to joy, and every loss into a greater gain. You realize that life was never your enemy. It has always been your secret ally, waiting for you to say yes.